So let's say you're playing along with your city and all of a sudden you notice you have a major disaster going on. What are you going to do? It looks just awful, doesn't it? Well, don't worry. There's ways to take care of this, and I'm here to show you how. Okay, before we talk about how to fix the problem, let's think about what might have caused it. Now, in this particular city, I am using the 25 tile mod, so I've got 25 tiles and quite a bit of population. So I think at this point, when it started flooding, I had 281,000 population. So that requires a lot of sewage treatment plants and a lot of water pumping stations. And if we look at the situation with the water right now, I have way more water availability than I need. So I think what's going on here is I've pumped so much water out of the upstream areas and added so much water to the downstream areas that I've caused some reverse flow in the river, which is causing this flooding down here. So one of the first things I would do before I even start to fix the problem in my city where it's flooding these buildings, which is definitely high priority, I won't do that yet, because first I want to kind of tone down the amount of water that I'm actually pumping out. So let me just go in and turn off a lot of these stations with the on-off button here. So I'll just turn off every one that's in this area, because I have, besides these, I have another 25 or so in other locations. So I'll turn all these off. Of course, I won't make you watch me do every one of them. Now I will see what I can do about mitigating the problem. See, I've got all these stations off now. So we'll go back to the, of course this would be highest priority because it's damaging these buildings. So before I even run any more of the simulation of the game, I want to start dealing with this. So one of the primary ways I've found to mitigate flooding is to start pumping water out of the area where the flooding is. So if we grab a pumping station, we can start just putting them into this town area. And I wouldn't worry about blowing away the buildings, because they're all going to be abandoned anyway because they're all flooding so badly. So I would just put 3 or 4, 5, maybe 5 pumping stations in this area. Try to get them where the worst water is. Let's take a closer look again. Well, the worst water is down in here, but it's pretty bad up in here too. So let's add a few more. And then be sure to plumb them in. Alright, now make sure that they are powered up and ready to go. And let's just go ahead and run the simulation a little bit and see if we can see it eliminating any of the water in the area. Yeah, right away I see it starting to dry up. This area here. Let's see if this station's running. No, it's not operating. So, oh no, it's running now. Okay. Yeah, it's not quite in the water enough, I think, so I'm going to move it a little bit. Let's try right there. There's a lot of water there, so now we need to connect the pipe. And operating normally. It's still flowing in so strongly that I'm going to add a few more. Okay, those are working now. Yeah, it is starting to dry it up. Now, also would like to stop it flowing into this area, so let's go back to where it's coming from right in here. See what we can do in here. One thing that might help, you can see how it is flowing out. It's flowing back into there. It's kind of drying up, but let's get some flowing back into the river if we can by digging a ditch here. Use the leveling tool, and now right click. And let's use a big shovel. Whoops, right click and lower that ground down. Going to dig a trench. See if we can get some water flowing back from there. And at the same time, it's starting to flow out. Let's also put some pumping stations in here. Around the edges of this. It won't let you put it right in the deep water, but at least you can get it close. So now I want to make sure those are all plumbed in. That one connected right away. And we're going to have to run some electric. Okay, those are starting to pump. And see if we can see what's happening. Operating, it's pumping. Starting to dry up. And back here in our city. Oh yeah, it's looking a lot better. Still got a lot of water, but let's put just a few more stations right in here. You can stop that flow going in. That would be nice. So they periodically go from operating to not operating because it's drying up, which is what we wanted to do. So now hopefully the flood didn't damage these roads. It looks like it just damaged buildings, so I'll just clean up by demolishing those abandoned buildings, and then I'll come back and fix the train tracks that got ruined. And also, I think it lost a bridge here too. Yeah, there was a train bridge going across I'll have to replace. But the flood, the major part of the disaster, seems to be over for now. I'll fill this back in and then maybe move one of these water treatment plants, which is kind of cockeyed here. And I'll probably raise some of the ground around here so it doesn't flood quite so easily again. That should do it.